don't care about what's going on over in Europe. We got bigger news,
Yep.
right?
Ryder Cup news.
We have a new Ryder Cup captain, Keegan Bradley.
I mean, if you think like who could be the next Ryder Cup captain, Keegan Bradley wasn't even he wasn't even on the list of names you would think.
And you're not saying that because he's not qualified.
Right. And I'm not saying that's because it's a bad thing either. I'm just saying nobody would have picked him.
He's one of the best players in the world right now.
Yeah.
Welcome back to episode 59 of Loggerhead Golf Podcast. Obviously, another pitch and putt weekend at John Deere, but congratulations to Mr. Thompson on his first victory. I guess it's going to be the year of awkward eyes because between him and
I will say this: when he stepped up on the tee box, he's like, this guy wants to kill this hole. I don't know what this hole did to him, but we got some crazy eyes going on right
pitch
now.
and putt, awkward eyes. Kyle woke up and chose violence this morning.
Well, you got him and Neil Shipley that look like they're just. I mean,
there was over 2,000 birdies this week.
not surprised.
That's a bunch of birdies.
That's crazy.
It was like 400 more or 500 more than the next closest. What are you doing?
I'm struggling. It's okay.
No, but I will say this. I don't mind seeing low scores when like we always know the scores are going to be low at the John Deere.
Right.
I think it shows that how talented these guys are and who can put 4 rounds together. Because when you go out there and shoot, did you shoot 9 under in the final round?
I'll be honest. I didn't watch
he shot
it. I don't
something
know,
ridiculous in the final round, deserved to win by 4 or 3, whatever he won by.
I don't mind the low scores as long as it comes down to a shootout and it's close.
Yeah.
Because you kind of need the low scores and the shootouts to make you appreciate the U.S. Opens at Pinehurst when it's 3 or 4 under par winning or a tournament where it's close to even par winning.
Yeah.
You don't appreciate those if you don't have the other side of it as well too. You need that change in scoring from time to time.
Yeah. So all in all, I don't mind pitching putts. Technically it was a putting contest this week.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know. I sat at home and watched it Friday afternoon, and I just thought to myself, this is really boring.
Yeah.
And I've never said that about a golf tournament because I genuinely actually like watching golf. But it was when everybody's shooting 64, 65 as and there's no pressure behind it.
There was 16 guys better than 20 under par.
I don't know. There's probably more pressure behind shooting. Yeah. You got to go low or else you're getting.
It's another tournament,
over.
Essentially 2 times in the last 3 weeks. We had another 59, and they didn't. And he did not win the tournament.
And how long you shot a 59? That's all anybody talked about all week long.
ESPN would funnel in,
right?
Like, hey, we have a 59 watch.
Now it's like there's 5 minutes of coverage for it, and it's like, okay, what's
now it's like who is going to shoot
another
59?
Thursday?
Yeah,
yeah.
So. But ultra impressive. I think the John Deere Classic proves my point why you need to have a full field on easy golf courses because any guy can win. To think that these guys that shot this deep at John Deere could have easily done it at Travelers, they just didn't get a chance to play there.
Yeah.
But rest my case there. The future is bright with golf. We'd be crazy not to mention. We had
Luke Clinton.
we had an amateur finish, tied for second, 24 under par, next to Michael. I can't even say his last name. Bjornsson.
Thior Borson.
Close enough.
I gave it my try.
I was going to say.
Tyler, how you going to say it? Here you go. Perfect.
Some Scandinavian name.
Really rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. Number 1 player out of college that got his PGA Tour card through the PGA Tour U, and he's already coming out, balling out.
Well, good for him.
So you seasoned veterans that have been just limping your way around the PGA Tour, days are numbered because these young guys, there's no I need to get my feet under me on the PGA Tour. You just don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
And Luke Clinton is the number 1, like on every betting app, he's the number 1 bet this week.
He's a favorite.
Yeah. Over a bunch of past PGA Tour winners too.
Yeah. And that's the event in Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And since he's still
used to be the Barbasol, it's not the Barbasol anymore.
So $900,000 is what he's accumulated the last 2 weeks, but he's gotten 0.
Hey, that NIL man, he's doing fine.
Yeah.
He's doing fine, but
whatever mortgage.
I don't think we're going to see 28 under par win on tour this week.
No, not the Scottish Open.
Yeah, so looking forward to that, but don't care about what's going on over in Europe. We got bigger news.
Yep.
Right.
Ryder Cup news.
We have a new Ryder Cup captain. Keegan Bradley. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
That seems like it was so out of left field.
I was not in my mind.
He was not. I mean, if you think like who could be the next Ryder Cup captain, Keegan Bradley wasn't even. He wasn't even on the list of names you would think.
And that's not. You're not saying that because he's not qualified,
right? And I'm not saying that's because it's a bad thing either. I'm just saying nobody would have picked him.
He's one of the best players in the world right now.
Yeah, like you'd expect him more to be on the team than to be captaining the team.
Hold that thought.
Yeah,
I think Kyle has.
I know who the first captain pick's going to be.
I think Kyle has to hear me out there, but
yeah. So like, what's kind of interesting about it is, I've got my own opinion because it's almost like the entire world saw him get shafted because of full swing, and obviously there was that rumor.
Buddy ball.
Correct, and that Tiger turned down this captaincy, which is whatever, but. It's like the entire world sees a player get shafted that actually deserved to be in there for the good old boys club. Mm-hmm. He has all the cards for this team, so I don't think JT is going to get a free handout this year.
Or Ricky.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this move could definitely change the course of Team USA. I mean, what year did the task force start? Where things just started to get a little too much in deciding how the team works. Was that after?
Was that K Club?
No, that was after Medina.
Yeah, it was Keegan and Phil
Medina, because they lost that.
They lost that, and they started this whole task force where you're like, you guys are just doing too much. Just like pick a captain and choose the best players and go play. Like it's not hard.
But they haven't been choosing the best players,
and they haven't been choosing and like it's funny they went deeper down the bad road of choosing the fan favorites, choosing the most marketability. Like, it's like, no, this isn't a tournament. It's not I hate to say it's not an entertainment.
Well, it is entertainment.
Ultimately, that's what falls under.
Good golf.
Right.
So.
But, I mean, there's a reason why, like, we have the history, the war at the shore, things like that, because they truly, Team Europe wants to beat Team USA, vice versa.
Right.
And it just seemed like Team USA just thinks they can show up. So I'm hoping Keegan Bradley, like, kind of work. Obviously, he's been working with the PGA of America. I'm hoping that they make a change for the good because last year was embarrassing.
I mean,
as an
American,
and I know I said on this podcast beforehand I was kind of rooting for Team Europe because I like Team Europe's players more, but still, like I wanted to root for USA. It was embarrassing.
It was hard to root for USA. Even being an American, it was hard to really get behind that team.
And then Netflix did not help the situation.
No, it made them look even worse.
Yeah.
Because it sounded like it was Jordan Spieth's team. And I know Jordan Spieth qualified on points. He wasn't a captain's pick. But like when they showed on Netflix that he was like, as soon as they announced Zach Johnson, they're staying in a house together for a tournament or whatever. And it sounded like it was Jordan Spieth's team. So I'm hoping that Keegan really kind of changes things up. Does he have the right to change how many captain's picks there are?
I'm not sure. I think their task force committee kind of thing, Ryder Cup committee makes that decision. But I don't know. Honestly, congrats to Keegan on the U.S. Ryder Cup team captain.
Is it not like a smack in the face to him?
I was going to say a little bit maybe, but I think, and this is why I think it's a good opportunity. This is a chance for him to. He got snubbed in the last Ryder Cup.
1,000%.
I mean, he was probably the most deserving player to be on that team, and got snubbed by several players that took his spot. You could say. This is, I think, a chance for him to impart his thumbprint onto the Ryder Cup team, make some little tweaks and little changes, and maybe even start to shift the USA Ryder Cup team in a different direction, as we kind of call it, away from that boys club. But
the boys club's over. It's done.
Make it truly about USA rather than the boys club. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think with Keegan, there's a chance that happens. So I think it'll be a good opportunity for.
I mean, who else was the rumor? The rumor was like Stuart Singh, like before Keegan got announced or leaked, and then obviously the PGA was going to announce it today at 12:00.
Right,
but
it got leaked.
It got leaked out by a reporter. So then the PGA went ahead and put out a statement. Now they were announcing like Stuart Singh, and I was like, dear Lord, we're going to have Zach Johnson 2.0. I think like they were talking about, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, who would if we take Keegan aside, who would we want our captain to be? I really couldn't think of anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm actually like looking at it, hindsight now. I mean, this could be a thing going forward where if Keegan does really well, he's going to be the captain going forward, just like Luke Donald.
Yeah.
Because Team Europe's set.
Because realistically, like if you think about other like candidates for USA, you're thinking probably Fred Couples, Davis Love III, maybe.
The most,
but when we talk about the boys club, like there's where the boys club started.
There's one guy that is actually fit to be captain of that team that's no longer will be able to qualify as a player, and his name's Phil Mickelson.
Well, he'll never be able to be it now because of Liv.
Because of Liv.
Yeah. Which honestly, I hope Keegan goes and picks Bryson.
Bryson.
Which, of course, I mean, Bryson with the U.S.
Bryson,
Open probably be close to an automatic qualifier anyway, right?
Tyler, what's your thoughts on all this? Because I know, like, you're obviously heavily involved in the golf world, but not.
I mean, I don't know. I watch.
Like you weren't on the podcast last year when we were talking about Ryder Cup. So like you're kind of looking at it from a little bit of a different
I watched the whole Netflix documentary. I think it's interesting to see, like, I saw something on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. It's like
it's still Twitter.
They were like Netflix. Yeah, they were like Netflix really runs the Ryder Cup because like
they ran last year's. That's for sure.
Well, right, but like they like you get to see Keegan Bradley get snubbed, and they're like Netflix is like, ooh yeah, like let's
storyline.
PGA's like, ooh, let's make a storyline. Like let's give him captaincy.
It seems very like Formula One right now, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, of course.
I mean, it's just so funny how much parody just happens to happen.
Right. Well, I mean, I think
is Netflix a coup? That's kind of
maybe. I think Keegan's going to do a good job. I think he's going to change the landscape of like what, like you guys were saying, like the boys club whole thing. I think. I mean, obviously, if you say, hey, this is the Team USA basketball team, you know what I mean? Like, let's pick 12 guys, and you're picking dudes straight out of college. This guy hasn't been to a finals. This guy hasn't won MVP. It's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? You're trying to go win the Olympics. It's like, why would you pick people that clearly are not as good as what your top talent could be?
Right. And I think, because that's what they've been trying to do, is they've been picking a team using the boys club to see, well, I play with so-and-so in practice rounds and we play great. But obviously last year that did not show. Yeah, you're right. At the end of the day, form matters.
Last year is literally in Formula One terms, it's like, hey, pick your team. It's like, I'll pick Logan Sargent, Guan Yu Zhou, and Botas.
They seem like good friends.
Kyle, do you know any of those names?
No, I've got a little bit of a life. Not much left, but a little bit.
Hey, instead of saying, yeah, I'll take Verstappen, Sainz and Norris.
Yes,
we've lost the course.
But that's basically what it is.
Yeah, and I think Keegan Bradley is going to bring patriotism back.
Yeah,
to the team.
Yeah,
I mean,
how sick are those Jordan outfits going to be?
Oh, I mean, it's gonna be awesome. But
Michael Jordan, co-captain.
Those were rumors, right?
I mean, who's done it before?
I saw that on the X.
On the X.
I don't have the Twitter or the Tesla app, whatever we want to call it.
Yeah.
I think Bethpage is going to be a good course too. I like that course.
The fans are going to be ruthless.
Nuts.
And you know what? The captain's going to be all for it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, what's kind of interesting is Keegan's, we talked about it a little bit last night, but he's 16th in the world, but technically wouldn't qualify for the team right now.
Bingo. So I was going to bring up Team USA's current standings. Okay.
Which, how do they figure that?
You're going to ask this question after I go through some names here. So I'm going to list them in order of number 1 to, I'll go through to 18. Or actually, I'll bounce some names around after 12.
Okay, all right.
Go Scheffler, DeChambeau, Schauffele, Morikawa. Those 4 are undisputed.
Yeah, for sure.
Fifth down. Harmon, Clark, Finau, Cantlay, Thigala, Homa, Henley, Maverick McNeely. That rounds out 5 through 12.
The only one on there is Homa.
Somehow, some way, the U.S. Ryder Cup app shows how players have moved up. Somehow, some way, Patrick Cantlay has moved up 24 spots in the ranking. How in the hell has Patrick Cantlay moved up 24 spots? What has he done since the Ryder Cup last year in normal tournaments for his ranking?
Fourth at the U.S. Open?
That's it.
Yeah.
He hasn't
played. He
hasn't played well in a single. Well, he has played well in one elevated event, but everything else, he's.
Well, think about Wyndham Clark should be way down the list.
I was going to say Wyndham Clark and Brian Harman.
Yeah, Brian Harman's
they haven't done anything since their major wins last year.
Brian Harman's only dropped 1 spot. So, like, you got to ask a question, like, how are they getting Ryder Cup points?
Well, you got to take those 12 and you got to be like, okay, who's in form now? Who's playing well right now?
Thigala, I think Thigala and Finau.
Yes, are both
And I
playing
do
well.
think Cantlay will make the team. Cantlay was the best player on Team USA last year. Now, I do think Thigala and Finau make the team. I do not think Max Homa will be on the team.
How many rookies do you give chances to? Because how many captains picks are there? Two.
I mean,
Who are the best players?
it all, like that's what it needs to come down to. Is like if Davis Thompson keeps this form, if Akshay Bhatia keeps this form.
How many rookies were on Team Europe last year?
Ton.
They had like four, I think, right?
Yeah. Well,
They gave them crap for that. But,
I joked about it, but
didn't hurt them.
Luke Clanton, if he keeps playing this good, even though he's an AM, can an AM be on the Ryder Cup team?
Absolutely,
If he gathers enough points, yeah.
There. Well, if he's
Or gets picked, yeah.
I mean,
he's arguably better than 7 of the names he just listed.
And I will say these. It says on their app last updated June 18th, 2024. So whenever they update this next, that's what's weird. I'm surprised it doesn't update weekly. Yeah. But I'm on U.S.A. Ryder Cup app right now, and they have Justin Thomas and Keegan Bradley at 23 and 24. I will say Keegan Bradley. It's not a wild thing to say. Keegan Bradley will be a playing captain.
It wouldn't surprise me.
With how good he's been playing,
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if he's a playing captain. Now, but it's Keegan Bradley's going to have a hard time looking at the names on this list, deciding his captain spot.
One thing about it, a year from now, it could change.
I know
tremendously between now and then. Anyway, so
and I hope it does because you have Brooks Koepka down in 34th.
Yeah,
I mean, there's some names on here that
Brooks hadn't really done anything.
I mean, think about Spieth. Spieth's down in 50th.
Good for him.
But like Caleb said, anything could change. Like literally, someone could catch fire. Someone could catch fire. Next.
I don't know.
January, February.
Again, how good was Bryson's first Ryder Cup?
He played really well.
He kind of flew under the radar, but that
was at Whistling Straits.
Yeah, correct.
That was a lot of fun to watch.
I mean, he drove number 1 green, made the eagle putt on Sergio.
But he's such an entertainer.
Sergio's just like,
yeah, what do I do against that?
But Bryson's such an entertainer. You saw him at the U.S. Open. It's like he's going to get the crowd involved, but he's also playing some of the best.
I mean, we're going to see some. I think finally there might be a U.S. team I can root for because I've been Nicky Turncoat the last few Ryder Cups just because I just like how professional Luke Donald ran Team Europe.
Yeah,
there was no question marks. It was just very like, hey, we got to do our job, show up. And then we're going to win. Right now, USA, they're still not there yet.
I was in USA on the flip side, hey, let's go hang out and I'll be buddies.
Right.
Yeah.
But,
And then, we played too much golf leading up to Paris. It's a hard walk.
Go play on Live then. Go play 54 holes.
You know who would be his other co-captain if he picks Jordan?
Who?
Tom Brady. And then that would fill in his trifecta.
Yeah. No, Tom Brady's going to be too busy because he has that Fox deal now.
Keegan Bradley's a big.
You know who doesn't have a job that could be a good co-captain
TV fan
for Keegan Bradley? Bill Belichick.
That would be actually kind of interesting.
Hear me out.
That would be a lot of fun to see.
Imagine him sitting on the first tee at Bethany's with a hoodie.
The sleeves cut off. Just looking pissed off at the world.
I mean, what? I mean, we're seeing it now in professional basketball. You don't have to have coaching experience to be a head coach.
No.
Like, you essentially have to just be able to coordinate and lead a team.
I mean,
Keegan, let's do something different, man. Get a football coach there. Get somebody. Get David Goggins. Who's going to carry the boats? Like, why not?
Something wild.
I don't know. I think that could be funny. Could be cool.
I don't know. It's fun to talk about.
All the what ifs.
Well, think about how much. What is today's news overshadowing? What's happening here in September? The President's Cup.
It was like President's Cup.
Yeah.
Who cares?
But the Ryder Cup is just such a cool event.
Exactly.
Is it because the Canadians are involved in the President's Cup?
Damn, God.
I mean, it just proves the Ryder
pissed in
Cup.
your Cheerios.
That wasn't a negative comment. That's all they've talked about for golf
It
coverage for
proves,
2 weeks.
man, the Ryder Cup just means more.
Yeah. The Ryder Cup just means, where's the original one?
Right.
I mean.
So, but anything else we want to add? I mean,
No, pretty short and sweet.
We got plenty of time to continue speculate on it between now and next year. Want to get in a show and tell?
Yeah.
All right.
As someone who actually watches golf, all they've talked about is the Canadian players for the President's Cup for 2 straight weeks. It's a back and forth battle right now.
The international team's going to get waxed.
Yeah, there's no chance.
There's no chance. When you don't have...
That's the reason why nobody cares about President's Cup is...
When you don't have Cam Smith, Abe Ancer...
The best international has tied.
Joaquin Neiman. You don't have any of those guys on your team. I mean, you got no shot.
That's impressive.
No,
wait. Do we know why Joey Chestnut didn't perform? Or was banned?
I was going to say, so it's the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest.
4th of July.
And Patrick Bertinelli wins it, but you got to put an asterisk by his name because Taylor Gooch wasn't in the field. That's a flush.
And Joey Chestnut. Now, we know why Joey Chestnut didn't compete, right? Do you guys know why?
I've heard it, but I don't remember it.
He is one of his sponsors is a vegan hot dog contest, and Nathan's like,
Oh, yeah.
nope,
I do
you
remember
are
that
not
now.
competing this year if you're going to support a vegan hot dog company.
I saw something about it, but I wasn't sure why. That's crazy.
I wonder how much I can do. How many?
I'm sure you could put down some hot dogs. We might have to find out one day on the podcast.
Well,
You've done opened that door for yourself, though.
I showed him the Oscar Mayer Wiener truck's going to be in Wilmington this week. Chance for him to go get some glizzies.
Hell yeah. But no, I think, Taylor Gooch said any field that he's not in, you got to put an asterisk by it.
Does he play golf anymore?
And I think that holds true for the
Can we
hot
all
dog
forget
eating
about Taylor
contest.
Gooch? Like, does he play golf anymore? All clubhouses should have a live feed on the first tee box with top Tracer technology in the restaurant
That's
/ bar
hilarious.
area. Imagine relaxing on the beer, watching everyone tee off. $20 blue shirt guy goes in the shit. I'm sorry.
You're on.
That's a flush for sure.
We're only a matter of time before draft, like a sports
You can
book
start live betting.
opens a golf course
And has
that
like a live feed.
has a
on
live
yeah.
odds.
And you have to you got to keep your score on like a phone or something, or in like electronic. That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to worry about the score. Like, just making bets on where the tee shot's going to go.
Not giving anyone ideas there. I mean,
Could you imagine it's on the first tee at the Muni?
we already do that.
Who goes
I know
into
we do that, but like, could you imagine having a
So,
live feed of
Speaking of which, last time we played there, we teed off on number 10, and we
Yeah.
were watching a group on 1. And you know where the chipping green is, right?
it? Yeah.
These guys were teeing off from the blues, which I guess is the tips out at Muni. This ball started right and almost smoked a dude on the chipping green and then went over the road.
Nice.
So the ball almost went backwards.
I say it's almost like 90 degrees right.
Really? Yes.
Tees up another, right? So I'm like, all right, we're gonna get it figured out. It goes even more right.
Oh boy. It's like
I
buddy,
would
go up a couple
have
boxes.
loved to see the marks on that ball, which I have smoked a car on that first hole many of times.
I've smoked a car on
Many a
two.
times? You've done it many a times.
When we played and practiced there a ton, I for whatever reason, for the life of me, couldn't aim left enough. It's not in my DNA.
So how many cars are driving around Wilmington with holes in the windshields from your golf balls?
There's more from others.
Oh, okay. All right. You just said you've done it many a times.
I could have easily hit a car. I've heard 3.
Okay. All right.
I've heard 3
Now we're putting numbers
clashes. So
Mine's bounced in front of a car.
don't drive on that road.
I was going to say, I avoid that road for that. But
That's flush.
yeah, it's a great idea. Let's put that in. Make it happen.
Okay, hear me out. I did some research on this. Actually, Rachel did. She's like, that looks really cool. Where is that? And
Tallamore Golf
It's
Resort.
Tallamore
Yeah,
Golf Resort,
Pinehurst.
but they don't do it anymore.
No, they're still there though.
Yeah, they still
They're
have
still
it.
there, but they
still
don't
have it.
caddy anymore.
So it's North Carolina Golf Course rents out Llama Caddies, and it's
You've played Tallamore, right?
yeah, Tallamore. They're still out there in their little pen. What
Yeah.
hole was that? It's number.
My question is,
like
can they
14,
read the
15?
greens?
I
Can
mean,
you
I'm
teach
sure
them to
they
do all that?
can.
That'd be cool.
You need all the help.
Maybe
be cool.
if it spits left, you know it breaks left.
There
if
you
it
go.
spits right,
Yeah. I was
it
I was gonna
breaks
say,
right.
They're the original hot tour.
I'll say
She looks terrified.
Well, I mean, like llamas are pretty mean.
that llama 100% is about to spit on her.
Yeah.
Have you guys been around them before?
Yes.
close friend, or I would say acquaintance, or whatever, his family had a llama farm. Those things, you'd walk by the fence, and the next thing you know, you just, like, if you're standing there not paying attention, they're just like over your shoulder, just like, what are you going to do? And they get mad. That's pretty cool about Talamore. I played it.
It's a cool idea.
Now they obviously don't, and in the pro shop, they have like a cease and desist of like their Llama Masters logo or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
But
I don't understand why this was the trending article last week, since they haven't done it in years.
Yeah, I have no idea.
there's probably one event a year that they
They're
do
doing
for
it,
like
yeah.
their family or something, to where they actually do it.
Yeah. Because those are recent photos. Like they've done it recently.
It's actually pretty cool. So you carry a stake around, and when you obviously want the llama to
Stop.
the stake's in the ground.
But that stake
Like-
ain't going to hold it down if it really wanted to go.
Nah.
Those
Dude,
are well-trained llamas.
Those are just scary animals, man.
Dude, they should
It'd be a
just
unique
teach them
round
to
of
read
golf.
greens.
I said having a llama for a caddy would be a unique round of golf.
There's somewhere out there that I think, I think it's over in either Scotland or Ireland, to where they have sheep.
What if they just spit on you in your backswing?
I'd be pissed.
You get a mulligan?
I mean, that's
I'm
interference.
sure it's
That's
a local,
interference.
it's a local rule.
A local rule?
Local rule. All right, we'll give this one a birdie. Let's get some more
I would
llamas.
love to do
Let's
it.
get more llamas on golf
Let's
courses.
get more animals on golf courses, right?
Shoot, might
Sure.
be better than some of the caddies we've had.
No, true.
Which PGA Tour event has the best tee markers?
How did they not put the Barbasol ones up there?
I really
This
like
is
the
no
RBC
longer
one.
That's not an
Well, I know
event.
It's
that,
like
but-
it's like a I don't even know the name of it this week, but
Because that was one of the cooler ones.
I like the RBC and the waste management.
you
I think
guys
you
know
got to
the-
go to
you-
Sanderson
I-
Farms and that little hint.
I was going to say the redneck in me is going to either choose the John Deere
Yeah.
or the Sanderson Farms.
Yeah.
But I do like the Valspar. I think Valspar's paint cans are
That is
really
actually
cool.
a pretty cool tee marker too. I mean, I honestly, like all of them are cool.
These are way better than a nice little piece of wood on the ground.
Well, the thing with the John Deere one is each hole has a different machine on the tee box.
What do you think about so speaking of tee markers, what golf courses have you played that's had the best tee markers? And you've played one recently that I would say has probably got the best tee markers.
Where did I play?
Probably Tobacco Road, I'm assuming he's speaking of.
Oh, yeah.
You got the Ripper tees.
The one you
and
played
it's
2
the
days ago.
plows, yeah, because like every tee box is a different plow.
Well, the thing is that, yeah, I played Tobacco Road on Sunday, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, what are you talking about? But what I said driving down each tee box, what do you think I said every single one?
What?
Because there was a tee box that people would have to drive a separate direction, so that it signed the cultivator.
Yes.
It's such a cool tee marker.
Yeah.
Such a cool tee marker.
I said they're cool. Yeah, it makes cool names, but they're also cool tee markers too.
Can I just say that's 100% my favorite golf course.
It's an awesome golf
I
course.
mean, I love it.
I say like the even
I
the
will
little
drive there.
details are really cool there.
They've cleaned up the details too. Like
Yeah.
you're getting a much better experience now. But I would say besides these, probably the coolest one I've seen. It's just like I like simple but like different is Stream Song at the time, and I know they've changed since. They had just flags, like little metal flags that were pretty cool. Like for
What's
the black
Dormy
red.
have on their tee box? I'm trying to remember. I feel
Dormy
like-
used to have wood, like Augusta.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
I don't know what they have now since they're part of the Dormy network, but I haven't played there in years.
So I remember them. I feel like I remember them having a distinctive tee marker. It's just been years since I played it.
Now,
so-
what we need to do is which course has the best tees.
Like golf tees?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the.
We can bring our own show and tell next week.
just zoom in on them all.
live in person.
No, we'll send them to Miles and he can put the photos up.
The Tree Monster ones from Tree Farm are probably my favorite ones that I have.
That's a good tee.
It's a pretty cool tee.
No, I think all of those tee markers are flush.
Yeah, the tee markers on the tour
in my
are
head.
flush.
I know I've seen so many cool tee markers. I mean, we've done.
That's funny,
We
when you-
did cool custom tee markers for our shipwreck at Bald Head.
You know, when you go back and think about it, it's hard to remember tee markers.
I was just thinking that too.
You know?
When you asked that, I was like, I don't even remember.
But
that,
around,
to be honest
and I
with
think what makes it hard is every course around here has the same tee markers.
For the most
Well,
part.
yeah.
For the most part.
That's what say makes Tobacco Road stand out. I'm trying to remember Tot Hill Farm if they have a unique tee marker, but I don't think they do.
They
I don't
might
play
now
enough places
with the
to
new
know.
ownership.
Right now,
and stuff,
yeah.
But
Anyway,
we have to play more golf courses to figure this out.
we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
I saw this.
No,
I saw this, and there's no way he said that, right?
I am the most gullible person.
Yeah.
So like I don't look who posts things.
Yeah.
And I read this, I was like, dear Lord, I respect it. And I was like, oh, it's Tor Guff. I was like, oh, this is not real.
Yeah. That would be hilarious if this was a real quote.
The only way Zach attends the Ryder Cup if he buys a ticket.
You go, Keegan Bradley.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I just hope Keegan Bradley doesn't go the whole like I don't have any. Like I just don't want him to go
The pacifist route.
Yes,
You got to have a little bit of a grudge.
1,000%.
100%.
Yeah.
What's motivation going into it?
Right. A little chip on his shoulder. Get the team riled up.
Keegan Bradley realize he gets to decide if JT makes the Ryder Cup team in 2025. I don't. Who knows? We could see 6 completely different players.
I hope
Or
we
we
do.
could see the same 12.
No, Bryson will definitely be there.
I really don't
No,
think
I said
it'll
the
be-
4. The top 4 are going to 100% be
Well,
there.
yeah. But
How many captain's picks are there?
It depends. I think last year
I
they
think it's-
changed it. Last year there was like 4.
well, there were 6 automatic
Or
qualifiers
six-
and 6
six-
picks.
oh, 6
and
picks.
That's
Yeah.
right.
They used to only do 10
used to only do
or,
2.
or 9.
They used to only do 2.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah,
Again,
they won't be the same.
a year from now. Actually, the team will be set a year from now.
Right.
So
Well, not yet. A year from now.
The Ryder Cup's in 2025.
I know, but
Right.
team won't be set until
It's in July.
like the first week of the playoffs.
oh.
Remember, we did it last year. It'll be like September. Well,
The PGA
maybe
Tour
not
schedule is
September.
so easy to forget about.
Yeah, it is. It may be end of August or something like that. But I mean, it'll be. I mean,
When
it'll be
is the
almost
Ryder
done.
Cup? It's next
The Ryder Cup is in September.
September. That's right.
Do we go to Bethpage?
I mean, September in New York. That might be the move.
Do we go to Bethpage?
Do a live podcast from the Ryder Cup.
I don't know. I feel like we might have
us
to put that
a-
in the cards.
Give us a like on this
We'll-
video if you want to see that.
I'll find.
Help fund us.
Yeah. All right, we'll give Keegan Bradley's remarks here a birdie.
Yeah.
I say that for real, Keegan.
Yeah.
In
Then
your,
it's a flush.
in your presser today, when you're at in New York,
Yeah.
Be Tom Brady about it. Say it. Cool.
send us out, Kyle.
Well, you guys know the routine by this point if you've watched us before. So click the subscribe button in the corner, turn on the push bell notifications, and we will catch you on the next one.